Hey everybody, this is herculespetix, founder, curator, docent, and gift shop employee of the herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies. Today we're going to be looking at Uncle Sham #1. This is an underground created by Dave Geiser from 1971, and it's very underground. What I mean by that is this comic just seems like Dave Geiser's seems very disturbed, and I can't even imagine him creating this for like, oh, maybe people will like this and I'll be famous or something. It's just really bizarre, twisted, dark, almost like the art you see from like a schizophrenic or something. It's really just kind of disturbing, but man, is it underground. It's kind of nasty, kind of ugly, and as we can see by the art here on the cover, Dave Geiser. I have a few Dave Geiser comics here at the Academy. Most of them I can't show. This is one of the few I can. His stuff is some of the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in a comic. Dave Geiser has drawn. He really seems to revel in just being really gross and disgusting. But this comic is kind of gross and disgusting, but it's definitely interesting. We have an inside front cover here, and we see Dick Nixon, King Dick, and Spiro Agnew, and King Dick and Super Dick. So we start off with this comic featuring the two. Hey kids, let's get sick with Speary and Dick. I don't know why he keeps calling him Speary. Was that his nickname? It's Spiro Agnew, right? Maybe that I never heard this nickname. So Speary Duck and Dicky Mouse visit the land of bilk and money. That's the subtitle. So we see them here kind of looking like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. And the narrator, almost like the Crypt Keeper, is Uncle Sham. So one day Uncle Sham is reading them a story. They look like two little kids. And all of a sudden, this strange creature staggers on the scene. And it's a bag of money. And he's singing Barrett Strong's Money. The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. So they're all intrigued, Dick and Speary. And they're like, let's follow him. And they, the bag of money runs into this kind of knot in this tree, or this chasm, or sorry, a gaping hole. And they fall into this thing. I like this panel here as they plummet downward into, it's almost like another dimension. They're traveling through another dimension. Another really just nightmarish. When I read these comics, I feel like there's that scene in Woodstock where the hippie warns everyone not to do the brown acid. I think Dave Geiser was doing lots of brown acid. He's doing bad acid. This is just kind of nightmarish, these things he depicts. So they land, they kind of splot, and they see this door. So it's almost like Alice in Wonderland. They open it up and they come out into this world. This is the land of bilk and money. And it's almost like this, like America at its worst, in overdrive. Like they see everything is billboards, advertising things. It's like a capitalist nightmare. Of course, Dick and Speary are like, wow, it's some kind of utopia. Adam Smith would really dig this. And then all of a sudden, these group of subhuman eunuchs, the Hattis Hardonis, I guess they're the citizens of this land. And they ask for their KKK and Bircher cards to make sure they're in order. I mean, this is how foul and like this is the ugly American stereotype pushed to the 10th degree. And they basically say, we're going to take you to the machine. The machine wishes to see you. So as they travel through the land of bilk and honey, they just see like, it is this capitalist nightmare where we see these mad hatters all going mad from the mercury poisoning. And they're like, the machine doesn't mind. Life is expendable here. We'll just get some new workers in. So they come to the machine. Look at this crazy machine. That is pretty surreal looking. And we find out how this world kind of works. Basically, all these drones punch things into the computer, to the machine, and say like, oh, we need, 2 more burger stands and 1 fried chicken stand. And the machine makes them. One of these eunuchs says, the machine is responsible for the beautiful landscape you saw when you first entered our land. All human life is subservient to the machine. And these pinheads who operate the machine, they can disavow any responsibility for their actions in the name of progress and science, which is pretty interesting because, there's that whole idea where under capitalism, people can do the most horrible things when they're part of a corporation. Like, for example, some guy he would never think of poisoning his neighbor. But if he's in a corporation and he's in charge of waste disposal and it's going to save some money and help the bottom line, they'll think, oh, it's perfectly reasonable to dump some mercury in a children's schoolyard. It's cheaper than disposing it properly. So just the idea that, when you're part of this machine, quote unquote, you're capable of doing some pretty shitty stuff that just your average human would never think to do. So the machine likes Dick and Speary. It kind of recognizes them as kindred spirits. And the machine makes them the co-rulers of this land. Basically, co-kings. The Queen of Sham, Miss Rancid Snatch, dubs them the new world leaders. Look at this crazy caricature. It's ugly. I kind of like his use of pointillism and his shading. It's not very appealing to the eye, but it's just, it adds to the disturbing nature of the artwork. So now they're rulers, and one of the eunuchs tells them that you're basically, the machine will determine every move you make. Your job is basically to make everyone think in the land of milk and money that they're making their own decisions. They're not just the slaves of this machine. They're choosing this. So pretty interesting social satire. It seems like that's what our politicians do to us. They make it all seem like, oh yeah, everything's free and great here. And then we realize, actually, I think it's just a few billionaires control everything we do. They kind of fall asleep and have their first wet dreams. And they're just these horrible dreams of like being really far right turds. And then they wake up and they come back to reality. Now, kids, it's Billy Bicycle Seat. And this is just a gross little story of this little loser kid. He's kind of an outsider his whole life. And his sex life was nil. One day, though, he notices the amount of attention girls' bicycle seats received from the writer's delicate membranes. Something so off about that, calling a woman's crotch their membranes. And he notices that there's an accumulation of residue after a hard ride. So he starts stealing bicycle seats. He becomes addicted to sniffing them. He has a whole collection in his house. This one has a sign that says Cherry's Jubilee. This one, dead fish flavor. This is so ugly, this comic. And then one night, he's sniffing a bicycle seat, and Jesus appears before him. He calls himself, though, I'm your friendly, funky, flunky Jesus. And I'm giving you one wish. I'm also going to give you some green stamps. And so Billy says, I want you to turn me into a girl's bicycle seat. So he says, okay, but first the green stamps. And this is just a bad punny joke. There's this guy, Mr. Green. I kind of like this monstrous guy, Mr. Green, with these fucking kids that are like high heel or platform kids. And he stamps them flat. That's the bad joke. I like seeing Mr. Green. So then Jesus turns him into a bicycle seat, and it's a very happy ending for Billy. Next, we have a quick sickie. This one's just nasty. It's we see this guy. He attacks a woman with an axe. He chops her in half. Takes the bottom half of her. Takes it to a Xerox copy store. Makes copies, and then he eats the copies. So it's almost like he's a paper cannibal. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. It's pretty fucked up. Just pretty, once again, pretty ugly. This is called Where Do We Come From? This is like an ugly psychedelic comic. It's like very psychedelic, but a lot of psychedelic comics are kind of beautiful, you know, and almost inspiring, like, oh, LSD is this wonderful thing that'll expand your consciousness and you'll see these beautiful visions. This is like a bad acid trip. All this like gross kind of melting chunky things. It's pretty good though. I kind of like this. I love this weird, I don't know what this is. Some kind of mechanical device. His eyeballs here. And he uses this totally different style here. Like, I don't know what you call that. It's almost like an overlay. This is I kind of like this stuff. I always like the psychedelic comics that make no sense. Next, we have The Main Game. And this is you know what I just realized? Is this comic so reminds me of that Future comic? That the guy from, I can't remember his name, but there's two videos of it on the channel. He's like Danish or Swedish, and he just makes these comics that are just scathing, kind of funhouse mirrors of like how fucked up humanity is, how stupid we all are. And that's what this comic totally reminds me of. The Future had a comic like this, just like showing this horrible game show, showing how, you know, these people are such slaves to their greed, and they're willing to do anything to win some prizes and maybe win some money. So they picked this guy out of the audience mainly because he's got the right stuff. In his greed frenzy, he trampled his own wife. So they figure, okay, this is the kind of guy we want. And he's got to pick what's behind curtain number 1 or 2. So I guess, you know, if he picks the right curtain, he'll get this great prize. If he doesn't, he'll be maimed. And we see a little commercial for this spray sex. And then back to the show. Unfortunately, this contestant picks the wrong curtain. And here we see the Main Game Maimers. These 3 horrible monsters, guys. And they maim him horribly. I like these weird sound effects. Cut, blood. It's almost like 3D. He has a bunch of panels in here that are almost like this would be a perfect 3D comic. Like, look at these letterings, these sound effects coming out. God, that skull is just so primitive. I like these close-ups of the Maimers. Like, I don't know why. I know he's a much more facile artist, but it almost reminds me of Pusshead. Like a Pusshead couldn't draw as well. He's just really dark and twisted. It's just like, these are real nightmare visions we're looking at. So I guess the guy gets a condolence prize. They give him a little cart because he has no legs now, and they give him a tin cup with some pencils so he can be a beggar. And then everyone leaves the studio. That's the end of the comic. Next we have Sleazy Sam. So we see this wino, Sleazy Sam. And he loves his life. He's telling us how, you know, my life wasn't always like this. I've had bad moments too. It looks like his life is as low as you can get, but he loves it. I like this here. Here's another great 3D effect. Look, he says, he's talking to us, the audience. He's saying, give me a slug of that wine. And he's reaching out for it. This must be some good wine, because it fucking makes his eyeballs pop out. It's like Tex Avery wine. So he says, let me tell you how I got, you know, this way. We see a flashback. I kind of like this groovy, weird flashback panel. And he's God, look at this weird passage through time. It's like some organic, I don't know, like a uterus or something. And I'm terrible with anatomy. I hope I said that right. So we see Plasticville, USA. This is like, Sam was the typical, successful businessman, stable economic security, but he was sterile. He didn't like his wife. He hated his kids. He had 2.5 kids. They actually draw a kid who's half, and a dog. But one relaxed evening, he just, the consciousness of his own shitty existence settles in, and he realizes, man, shit, TV sucks, beer tastes like piss, goddamn wife and kids, what a pain. So the next day he sees an ad in the newspaper as he's heading to work. Life getting you down? Become a wino. For $5, we'll send you a ratty, tattered suit, a musty, puke yellow shirt, and a bottle of Muscatel. Some shitty wine. So he clips it out, and he's got a spring in his step now. He's really excited. So after a few weeks, his kit comes. Here's the big bottle of Muscatel. He's got like they give him shoes with holes in them. And he barks an appropriate farewell to his wife and kids. He's just giving them the finger. Just like, hasta luego, motherfuckers. So he becomes a wino. And it's the best decision he ever made. He loves it. So now we have I think this is called Our Tale Unfolds, a modern day horror story. And this one's really just disturbing, the art. It's just like, look at this hand. So the way he draws poorly makes it even more disturbing. So we see someone, point of view, we're going to this, I don't know, haunted castle or something. He knocks on the door, and it's Igor. So a typical, mad scientist type thing. He's got an assistant named Igor. I think they all have to be by law. So Igor drops the jar with the brain in it, and these huge lips. And so the Frankenstein doctor, whatever his name is, he's like, my bread will be a big-mouthed idiot, but I must go on. So he prepares to operate. So we see all this kind of crazy, sci-fi stuff. It's just weird sound effects. Like, why is this one checkered? I think Dave Geiser, I think I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He frightens me. He's probably not alive anymore. So he performs the operation. I like this, how to insert the new brain, for some reason he stands 15 feet away and throws it like he's pitching a baseball. I guess maybe to challenge himself or something. I don't know. Weird. So they zap her with electricity, this Bride of Frankenstein type creature. And Igor's just like, she's uglier than we ever imagined. And the mouth, it won't shut. I'm sorry, that's what Dr. Frankenstein says. And then Igor says, you done fucked up bad, man. She's a real lame one. And then we see this. I don't know why I think this is hilarious. This woman's face. It's actually drawn quite realistically. And she's just blabbing away with her big mouth. And Igor just keeps saying, you really blew it this time, Mitchell. Well, I guess that's his name, Mitchell. I'm getting off this sinking ship. And that's the end. Next, we have a fake ad for the Charlie Manson stud farm. So basically, you can get a vial of Charles Manson's sperm so you can start your very own Manson family. I guess that's kind of topical. 1971. And here we have a back cover of King Nixon and Super Speary. It says, hey kids, cut out these puppets. Hang them up on the wall, then tear down the house. You'll be glad you did. Brought to you by your friendly neighborhood anarchist. This is a weird sense of humor, this guy, too. Very odd. So there you go, guys. Unfortunately, I don't have Uncle Sham number 2. This is Uncle Sham number 1, of course, by Dave Geiser. Number 2's out there. If anyone has a spare copy, wants to send it to me, contact me in the notes. I got my email there, my Gmail. So that would be great if you wanted to donate it to the Academy, because I'd love to see more of this. Part of me doesn't dread seeing more of this. It makes my soul feel ugly and tainted, like a tainted cheese. But hope you guys like looking at this. It's probably only for weirdos only, this comic. Most people probably would just be like, yeah, it's terrible. But I'm a weirdo. I kind of like just weird shit like this as an example of just fucking weirdos. You know, this Dave Geiser just seems like a real nut. But there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time here at the Herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies.